The relationship between the physical cosmos and mathematical principles is one of the most profound and persistent challenges in metaphysics. From the elegant geometry governing planetary orbits to the complex numbers at the heart of quantum mechanics, the universe seems written in the language of mathematics. This raises the ontological dilemma famously articulated by Eugene Wigner as the unreasonable effectiveness of mathematics. Is mathematics an independent reality discovered by conscious agents, or is it an inevitable structure generated by the universe's most fundamental dynamics? For centuries, the first view, mathematical realism, often equated with Platonism, has dominated, treating numbers as eternal, non-physical truths. But in sharp contrast, inner ontology offers a generative perspective. Mathematics is not the foundation of reality, but the first discernible pattern emerging from a deeper inner dynamic. In this presentation, we'll compare these two frameworks, exploring their implications, coherence, and the ability to provide a true foundation for existence. The question of whether mathematics is descriptive or foundational is pivotal. If mathematics is only descriptive, then its effectiveness in explaining the cosmos is a coincidence. But if mathematics is foundational, then its very existence demands an explanation. Mathematical realism asserts that entities such as the number pi, the rules of calculus, exist in a perfect timeless realm, independent of physical space, time, or even human minds. By contrast, inner ontology shifts the focus toward genesis. Reality, according to IO, is not rooted in eternal mathematical objects, but in a process of directional differentiation. This generative dynamic inherently produces patterned, quantifiable structures, so numbers do not precede reality, but emerge from it. At the heart of this debate lies a simple but fundamental dichotomy. Are numbers the primitives of reality, or are they consequences of it? For the mathematical realist, numbers are the uncaused cause. They simply exist eternally, waiting to be discovered and mapped by conscious observers. For the proponent of IO, numbers are consequences. They arise as the first stable patterns generated by the fundamental dynamics of inner indistinct and their relational entanglement. This report therefore proceeds in two steps. First, a systematic critique of the realist tradition, and second, a detailed account of the generative mechanism proposed by IO, culminating in a synthesis that contrasts static existence with dynamic becoming. Mathematical realism, also called Platonism, rests on three central claims. First, mathematical entities exist. Second, they are abstract, that is, they are not located in space or time. And third, they are independent of all human thought and physical activity. This view has often been taken as the default metaphysical position because it offers a very intuitive interpretation of mathematics. When mathematicians prove, for instance, that there are infinitely many prime numbers, the Platonist takes that claim literally. For the Platonist, this truth is objective, eternal, and immutable, existing whether or not any human mind recognizes it. In this framework, knowledge acquisition is deductive, grounded in timeless principles. Mathematical truth stands apart from the inductive and revisable nature of empirical science. Mathematical realism is powerfully expressed in Roger Penrose's ontology, which proposes three distinct but interconnected worlds: the physical world, the mental world of consciousness, and the Platonic mathematical world. According to Penrose, these three worlds are linked in a cycle. First, a portion of the mathematical world dictates the laws of the physical world. Second, a portion of the physical world gives rise to the mental world, our consciousness. Third, and a portion of the mental world reaches back into the mathematical world. This picture is elegant, but it carries a deep tension. If mathematical truth is truly the ultimate foundation of reality, its influence appears strangely partial. Only a small fragment of the mathematical world is said to affect the physical, and only a small fragment of the mental is said to access the mathematical. These causal gaps remain unexplained, forcing realism to invoke external mechanisms to connect the abstract with the concrete. And it is here that the central challenge to mathematical realism emerges. Max Tegmark takes mathematical realism to its most radical conclusion with what he calls the mathematical universe hypothesis. According to MUH, external physical reality is literally a mathematical structure. The universe is not just described by mathematics. The universe is mathematics itself. Tegmark extends this idea into the framework of the level 4 multiverse, where every possible mathematical structure corresponds to a possible universe. In this view, our cosmos is simply one mathematical structure among infinitely many. To address the vastness of this infinity, Tegmark introduces the computable universe hypothesis, or CUH. CUH restricts valid mathematical structures to those that can be defined by computable functions. This is meant to provide a measure over the infinite mathematical landscape, but Tegmark himself admits that CUH faces serious difficulties. It excludes much of mathematics, and it directly conflicts with many historically successful physical theories. The strength of MUH lies in its attempt to solve what is often called the problem of access, the question of how minds in the physical world can connect to abstract mathematical truths. MUH collapses this problem into a so-called strange loop. If the universe is mathematics, then the access issue disappears, because the description and the reality are one and the same. But this solution introduces a deeper challenge. If reality is all mathematics, then why do we inhabit this particular mathematical structure, and not one of the infinitely many others? The computable universe hypothesis tries to provide a selection principle, but in doing so, it exposes the arbitrariness at the heart of MUH. In the end, the numbers and structures we observe remain unexplained brute facts, leaving the ultimate ontological question unresolved. One of the strongest objections to mathematical Platonism is known as the epistemological challenge, or the Banasarov problem. This challenge exposes what has been called an impenetrable metaphysical gap. On the one hand, mathematical entities are abstract, timeless, and causal. On the other hand, Human cognition is physical and causal, grounded in neural activity. If numbers truly exist in a realm completely outside space and time, with no causal link to our brains, then how can we possibly refer to them, gain knowledge of them, or hold justified beliefs about them? The mechanism is entirely mysterious. Even Penrose's tripartite model struggles here. While it assumes that the mental world somehow accesses the Platonic mathematical world, the actual process remains obscure and unexplained. A second fault line appears when we ask a simple but profound question. Why this mathematics and not another? Mathematical realism typically treats numbers and truths as primitive, as uncaused brute facts, but this acceptance of mathematics as given page to explain why the particular mathematical structures we know define reality, instead of some other possibility. This reveals the need for a meta-theoretical framework, a framework that does not simply accept mathematics as foundation, but explains its genesis. It is precisely this intellectual necessity that motivates in our ontology, a generative alternative that grounds mathematics in deeper relational dynamics rather than assuming its eternal independence. IO opposes a generative framework for understanding reality. Its central claim is simple. For anything to exist, there must be a distinction between in and out. Structure, interaction, and measurement all emerge from this base relation. The fundamental primitive of IO is the IOI. An IOI is not a static object, but a balanced state, neither fully inward nor outward. It carries both integrative tendencies, like folding and coherence, and expansive tendencies, like branching and differentiation. Through their entanglement, IOIs do not merely occupy fully existing space. They generate dimensions themselves. Space, time, and the pattern of reality arise from the interplay of inward and outward dynamics at this most basic level. In short, IO shifts the foundation of existence away from eternal mathematical objects and toward a deeper generative process that produces both mathematics and the cosmos together. Structure in the universe emerges only through inner entanglement, IOE. IOE can be thought of as a directional interaction field. It's what allows dimensions and structures to form in the first place. When two IOIs connect, they interact their directional tendencies, forming a page-locked entangled spinner. Structure itself emerges through symmetry breaking. IOIs start in a perfectly symmetric potential state, and when entanglement occurs, this symmetry is broken. Every act of differentiation, creating a boundary transitioning from not one to one, is a reflection of the recursive IOE field. Even numbers and objective reality at their most basic arise from this process. The dynamics of emergence follow several core in-out axioms. First, the entanglement axiom. A in equals B out, and A out equals B in. This captures mutual interdependence and aligns with conservation principles. Second, the homogeneous axiom. A in equals B in, and A out equals B out. This ensures perfect symmetry within categories and mirrors the indistinguishability of fundamental particles. Third, the emergence axiom. The combined outward motion of two entities generates a new internal system. Finally, the measurement axiom. C in equals A out plus B out. Measurement is how the internal potential of a system becomes observable. Importantly, measurement is always indirect because IOIs are the generators of reality themselves. They are not meant to be observed directly, but their existence can be logically and indirectly derived through their effects. Together, these precepts show how structure, numbers, and observable reality all emerge naturally from the interplay of IOIs in the IOE field. Now let's explore how IO directly addresses the foundations of mathematics. Rather than treating mathematical concepts as abstract external entities, IO proposes that numbers and constants emerge naturally from the dynamics of IOIs. This explains why mathematics is so strikingly effective. Its structure mirrors the structure of reality itself. Euler's identity EI pi plus 1 equals 0 provides a perfect example. It unites five fundamental numbers E, the base of natural logarithms, I, the imaginary unit, pi, the geometric constant, 1, the multiplicative identity, and 0, the additive identity. IO interprets this elegant summing to 0 as a mathematical expression of the IOI, the state of absolute symmetry and potential before any differentiation occurs. The complex exponential form EI theta reflects the ontic lemma of inward and outward components are mutually generative and inseparably coupled. This mirrors physics, where kinetic and potential energy coexist, captured in the Hamiltonian framework. Next, consider the imaginary unit, I. In the complex representation, omega equals cosine theta in plus I sine theta out. The real part cosine theta corresponds to the inward dimension, while the imaginary part I sine theta corresponds to the outward dimension. Here, the imaginary unit I represents the directional mode itself, a potential non-physical state driving the geometric rotation or differentiation necessary to generate numbers and dimensions. Thus, the very existence of complex numbers is not arbitrary, but an ontological necessity. They encode the dynamic structure of IOIs, capturing the co-emergence of inward and outward reality that underlies all measurable quantities. Next, we turn to the quantum wave function, psi, through the lens of inner ontology. In IO, psi is not just a mathematical tool for calculating probabilities. Rather, it is an ontological map of IOIs in contextual entanglement, a true representation of reality and its most fundamental. This and its formalization captures the symmetry and conservation in the exchange of inner states. It resonates closely with relational quantum mechanics, which holds that the state of a quantum system is meaningful only relative to another system, an observer. IO goes further, arguing that this relativity is fundamental, not just a feature of measurement, because reality itself emerges from the IOE field, structured by directional distinctions. Now consider decoherence, traditionally viewed as the loss of quantum superposition. IO reinterprets it as the stabilization of directional asymmetry, a transition from symmetric potential to configured measurable reality. The measurement axiom seen equals A out plus B out explains how observation actualizes potential into definite outcomes. This process, directional differentiation and actualization, is the genesis of countability. Numbers, particles, and measurable quantities emerge as the rhythms and patterns of IOI differentiation, turning potential into actual, observable structure. In short, the wave function, entanglement, and decoherence are all expressions of the recursive IOE dynamics, generating both structure and quantifiable reality from the underlying inner fabric of existence. Let's examine the cosmic implications of inner ontology, especially in comparison with traditional mathematical realism. The choice is striking. Do we live in a passive, fixed reality where mathematical constants fully exist and are merely discovered? Or do we inhabit a dynamic, generative reality where mathematical structure emerges as its inevitable first consequence? To make this clear, consider the following comparison. Mathematical realism treats numbers as ontological primitives, eternal truths waiting to be discovered. IO, in contrast, sees numbers as ontological consequences emerging from the dynamic genesis of IOIs. Under mathematical realism, reality is a fixed, timeless mathematical structure, the ultimate cause of all phenomena. IO presents reality as a generative dynamics of inner indistinct. For realism, mass is a brute fact, self-justifying within its own abstract system. For IO, mathematics is a necessary consequence of symmetry breaking, with Euler's identity serving as the archetypal expression of this genesis. Mathematical realism leaves us with the unsolved problem of access, a metaphysical gap between mind and eternal truth. IO resolves this naturally. Structure is relational and co-created, arising through the IOE field. In realism, psi is a tool for probability calculations, a descriptive law. In IO, psi is an ontological map of IOIs in contextual entanglement, reflecting the actual structure of reality. Realism sees physical laws as reflections of pre-existing mathematical truths. IO shows laws as stabilized resonance patterns of the IOE field, emerging from the recursive inner dynamics of the cosmos. In short, while mathematical realism emphasizes discovery, IO emphasizes genesis, a universe that creates its own structure, numbers, and laws from the foundational interplay of inward and outward potential. Now let's explore IO in the context of cosmology. In IO, the Big Bang is not a geometric singularity in space. Instead, it is the phase-shifted culmination of extensive IOE, where best numbers of IOIs achieved directional coherence. This event marked the transition from a pre-structured inner symmetric superposition to a globally organized directional balance fields. Within this framework, space-time itself is emergent, not a container. It arises as a directional structure generated by the global IOE field, similar to modern concepts like ADS-CFT correspondence, where space-time emerges from quantum entanglement. IO provides an ontological foundation for this, showing that entanglement is the fundamental organizing principle, the very process by which symmetry is broken. IO also offers a new perspective on gravity. Gravity is not a geometric deformation caused by mass and energy, as in general relativity. Instead, it is the overall tension toward inertness, arising from the continuous organization of ions in the global IOE field. Mass and energy are seen as stable, repeating connections of ions, and the repeated inward pointing of ions generates both mass energy and the consistent effects we call gravity, reversing the conventional causal chain. This leads naturally to the idea of an IOI field tensor, representing the directional resonance of the entangled field. Such a tensor could be incorporated into a foundational equation analogous to Einstein's, describing the dynamic balance of inward and outward tendencies across the cosmos. In short, IO represents cosmic emergence, space-time, and gravity as manifestations of the global IO field, uniting structure, dynamics, and relational entanglement at the deepest level. Let's now examine the implications of in-out ontology across scales, from cosmic structures to consciousness. The generative nature of I/O allows for unified structural mechanism across all levels of reality. Duality is central. Structure is inherently in-out complementary. The wave dimension represents outward, inductive, and collective processes, while the particle dimension represents inward, deductive, and measured individuality. Through this lens, I/O provides a true wave-particle structure continuum, defining structure as the dynamic outcome of this duality. Even in relativity, phenomena like time dilation and length contraction are reinterpreted as expressions of in-out relativity. The internal aspect, such as an observer's experience of time or an object's length, is directly influenced by external conditions like relative velocity or gravity. Thus, the systemic structure of reality S emerges from the interplay of internal potentialities I and external actualizations O, mediated by the boundary condition of the speed of light C. Beyond physics, I/O extends its logic to consciousness and subjective experience. Mind and matter share the same ontological primitive, the IOI dynamic. Consciousness is not an incidental byproduct of complexity. It emerges naturally from the layered directional resonance of IOIs. Each IOI sustains four basic directional valencies: inward positive, inward negative, outward positive, and outward negative. These flows form the fundamental structure of affect. Positive valence signals systemic coherence or adaptive fit, while negative valence marks misalignment or dissonance. Subjective experience or qualia is more than a mental representation. It is an intricate pattern of flow, blending quantitative and qualitative aspects across a balanced topological manifold. The basic architecture of experience arises from transitions between the four directional valences, forming a 4x4 valence transition matrix with 16 distinct transformations, capturing the dynamic richness of conscious experience. In short, I/O provides a continuous generative framework linking physical reality, emergent structures, and the very fabric of subjective experience. Let's now focus on the I/O valence transition matrix, which captures the dynamic architecture of consciousness and qualitative experience. This 4x4 matrix defines transformations between directional balance pairings. Each combination corresponds to an ontological mode of being. From in positive and out positive, transformations lead to integrative openness, over integrative collapse, openness with inward dissipation or downward drift toward isolation. From in positive out negative, we see reactive adaptation, hermetic stillness, contained centering to expressive imbalance, and lacking of dissonance. From in negative out positive modes include insight via chaos, integration from disruption, re-engagement toward unity, and reflected fragmentation. From in negative out negative, transitions manifest as rising impulse for restoration, defensive closure, return to coherence, and recursive collapse. Every belief, intention, or qualitative shift in cognition corresponds to a specific balance phase transformation within this matrix. These are not mere metaphors, they are ontological events, real structural transitions at the foundation of experience. While the trajectories through this manifold are immensely complex, the underlying transitions are fixed by the 4x4 structure. This provides a deterministic structuralist foundation for subjective phenomena, directly linking the genesis of consciousness back to the necessary structural constraints of the IOI dynamic. In short, the balance transition matrix shows how the flow of inward and outward balances organizes experience, creating a rigorous structural map of consciousness emerging from the most fundamental ontological processes. As we conclude, the comparison between mathematical realism and IO reveals a profound metaphysical divide. One worldview commits to the eternal, passive existence of numbers, a universe of discovery. The other commits to the active, generative emergence of numbers, a universe of genesis. Mathematical realism, whether Platonist or in its extreme MUH form, struggles with a persistent epistemological challenge. How do abstract mathematical truths manifest in the physical world? It treats mathematics as a brute, uncaused fact, leaving a fundamental explanatory gap. IO resolved this through a generative logic. It explains the genesis of mathematical structure as the first necessary expression of the IOI dynamic, arising through symmetry breaking and recursive entanglement. This shows that the unreasonable effectiveness of mathematics in physics, as Wigner described, is not miraculous, but consequential. Mathematical formalism, complex numbers equality, unity, naturally encodes the directional relations and asymmetry inherent in reality. IO offers a potential unification across scientific domains, embedding physical laws, cosmology, quantum phenomena, and cognitive structures within a single inner matrix. This synthesis frames reality as a dynamic flow between potentials and actualizations, revealing a true wave particle structure continuum. The philosophical debate thus shifts decisively from the passive mystery of existence to the active power of genesis. Numbers are not ultimate, pre-existing entities. They are the perfect, inevitable rhythms emerging from the deepest dynamics of the cosmos. Future work will develop formal algebraic and topological modes of IOE and construct empirical tests from the IO's tensor, advancing IO from a foundational meta theory to a fully operational model of reality. In short, IO illuminates a universe where structure, number, and consciousness all emerge from the recursive interplay of inward and outward dynamics, offering a cohesive, generative vision of reality.